Before the video starts, remember to like, share, subscribe if you haven't done that already. Make sure to check out the mobility write-up if you prefer the written form for this video, and I also put the save file there. Join the Discord server and let's get in. What is up YouTube? Today I have a Borderlands 4 build, you guys, and for this one we have Gamma Ray Harlowe. This build, in my opinion, is the best gun build for Harlowe. Obviously, you have seen a lot of green skill tree build on YouTube, but I think those are just placeholder. And this is what you ultimately want when those invincible eventually come out. In this build, we are using Gamma Ray Burst, which says that whenever Harlowe re-trigger her action skill, the next shot fired from her gun drain her shield and deal bonus radiation damage based on the amount drained. This skill basically allows us to convert our shield capacity into pure damage. The shield we are using for this build is very special because it has a lot of capacity. I think this is a double turtle part and it can go up to 44,000. The highest cap I have seen is 66,000, but I haven't been able to get that. But the build already shred with just 44,000, and most of the clip in the intro I was using a 28,000 shield. So like once you have above 20,000 shield capacity, this build will be incredible. We also have some skills above shield capacity, which means boosting our damage even further. And the last component that makes this build really broken are the special Artfire gun. Now, you might hear that and say, Nepta, those Artfire are unbalanced. Well, we aren't using spread launcher, which I agree that is very unbalanced and should be changed. But we are using lesser known Artfire like Taser, Kill Drone, Attack Drone, Death Sphere. Like the only broken Artfire that I'm using is a Spy Laser, but even if they nerf its damage, it doesn't matter for this build, because in this build we doesn't care about the base damage of the gun. We are only caring about the shield capacity. The capacity will always give us a flat amount of damage through Gamma Ray Burst. Now the reason I want to use this specific underbarrel Artfire gun is because they spawn unlisted extra projectile, or they do damage per tick, like this taser here. That is very important because for most guns, when you are using Gamma Ray Burst, it only applies once. But because we are using this specific special Artfire that spawn extra projectile or deal damage per tick, all of them damage tick will get Gamma Ray Burst. Let me demonstrate it to you guys. You see here, when I shoot the taser with Gamma Burst active, every single tick of taser damage get Gamma Ray Burst. And you can see here I'm not using Gamma Ray Burst, and you can see the damage difference, very crazy. I don't know if it is intended, I think it is, but that is what makes this build so strong. To the gear breakdown. For the gun, as stated beforehand, we want to use guns that spawn unlisted projectile and deal damage per tick, so stuff like Oscar Mike with Spy Laser Artfires. This gun is very strong. This will be your best bossing option. We also have an on-road assault rifle with the Kill Drone Artfire. The drone will get your Gamma Ray Burst and deal like, I don't know, in this build they are dealing 500,000. The explosion also get Gamma Ray Burst and they are exploding for what, 2.4 million. That is just crazy. Very good for mobbing, can be a little inconsistent when you are going up against flying bosses. The taser is by far the most consistent option for both mobbing and bossing for this build. Each tick of the damage will get Gamma Ray Burst, and as you can see in the clip, they do ton of damage. The Order Sniper Rifle with the Artfire Order Night Spike can also be interesting. Like the spy says that it drains power from nearby enemy. That draining power effect also get Gamma Ray Burst, and the explosion also get it too. So can be interesting if you fire it. But I think this type gun is one tier below taser, drone and spy laser. You can use it if you don't have a taser. Otherwise, just use taser. Other gun that I'm also using is a TDR pistol that draw with the attack drone Artfire. This attack drone it says that it home in on a nearby enemy, but it dropped like 3 bombs before it actually do so. And each of the bomb will get gamma ray burst, so it can do decent damage. But in my opinion, the kill drone is still so much better. But it is an option nevertheless. A digital backup sadly doesn't work with gamma ray burst. I'm putting it here just to show you guys that ignore this. You can also use an order assault rifle with the death sphere art fire. It doesn't do as much damage as the drone, but somehow this is even more inconsistent than the drone against any circumstances. I know it is bugged right now, but you can also use the energy disc with a Jacob part. This is by far the fastest clearing option for this build, but I don't think this will last long. So if you get it randomly, it could be nice, but I don't recommend using this or rely on this. The kickballer is interesting because it's bounce around and the projectile will still retain gamma ray burst. You can use that. Obviously, the Jacob part here does a big part in spamming the projectile. Each ricochet projectile will also get gamma ray burst, but I don't think it will stay. Without the exploit, I think this will still be an interesting mobbing option. Then we can use the complex route, which isn't the strongest surprisingly enough. Maybe it could be better if I got a Atlas tracker part on it, but like the gun spawn diverging projectile, right? And each of that projectile will get gamma ray burst. That should be it for all of the gun option. Moving on to the rep kit. For the rep kit, try to get any rep kit with the aim part on it. This why it won't improve your gamma ray burst damage because it only applies to the base damage. But it is still nice for stuff like drone, spy laser, and not so much for taser because its base damage is very low. So you can even use any rep kit that gives you soup. Like this one for example could also be a great option, but I still think aim is the best, and get a triple bypass because it is the most spammable one. For the ordnance, there are a couple options here. If you are planning on not using ordnance for damage, the fire pod is great. It actually do gun damage, so it is proccing a lot of stuff for us. Like it is getting nuclear winter, which means we are getting distribution function and conformative reality. It also stack Riddle uses, so very good utility ordnance. But if you are planning on using ordnance on this build, I recommend you to use the streamer. The beam will get gamma ray burst on every tick of it damage, which is insane. And any heavy with the Murph part on it, the extra Murph op does get gamma ray burst. And there is a special interaction between the Murph heavy 3R3 high caliber and the splat gun, where you get a bunch of projectile through the splat, and each of those projectile will get gamma ray burst. For the class mod, try to get the class mod with the most point into gamma ray burst as possible, preferably 5. The reason we want 5 points is that it will get the skill to 100% of maximum shield capacity drain, and that basically means our shot will get 100% of our shield capacity, and that is just better for ammo consumption and damage overall. Note that the passive doesn't do much for this build. It all soup, so like don't be scared about leveling stuff. A level 1 purple com with plus 5 into gamma ray burst will work well in this build. For the shield, find the shield with the high gate capacity in your inventory and use it. The best one for this build would be on 66,000 capacity, but I couldn't get my hand on that, so I mean like you don't really need it right now. Anything above 20,000 will shred all content, but make sure to look out for it. For the enhancement, it is very dependable on the type gun that you are using. If you are mainly using the taser, I recommend you getting the underdog enhancement, which gives you 50% of under barrel damage. This counts as enhancement gun damage. If I remember correctly, you can also use one with bullet holes, which has a chance to add an extra projectile per shot. This works with the taser art fire. and basically double our damage output. We can also get the Jacob enhancement bounce pass that give us extra ricochet. Very interesting because the ricochet also get the gamma ray burst, so this would allow us for insane mobbing. For the passive, try to look for gun damage, gunfire rate, gun critical hit damage, very premium. Gun tie damage is also premium. For the firmware, the only 3 firmware that you need is 2 out of 3 high caliber and 1 out of 3 baker. 2 out of 3 high caliber will give you 10% gun damage, and this gun damage count as enhancement gun damage, so it is multiplicative to your sub gun damage. And baker at one point will give us 10% of our shield capacity, and that is just another multiplier to our damage, if you know what I'm saying. So it is pretty huge. The rest of the point can go into another high caliber, which will allow us to perform the Smurf heavy direction, and you can get stuff like bullet to spare, Oscar Mike, boss killer can also be nice for a little bit of soup. Moving on to the skill tree, we start with the green skill tree where we put most of our point in. 5.2 means hum for 25% maximum shield capacity, basically a multiplier to our damage because we are using gamma ray burst. 2 out of 5 momentum for some crit damage and to move down the skill tree. Same thing for neutron decay, which will give us a lot of gun damage. Affirmative reality so that we can get our archer skill back pretty fast. Make sure to get a high fire rate gun or the Katagawa Revenge and use it within the 12 seconds after the archer skill end to get your archer skill back fast. 5.2 decoherent, this is just a really nice bonus element that apply to everything that you are doing except for as a bonus element. In previous video I stated that this is a peer mode. That was not true. I apologize for that mistake. Then 5.2 latent charge, which will give our gun damage bonus 50%. Note that the 50% of the gun damage dealt does not get gun damage, does not get melee damage, does not get skill damage. Very weird skill, but at least it is the same element as the initial damage proc. So still a very nice skill to get. 5 point into gamma ray burst, the whole point of this build. Very insane skill once you have the gear and know how it works and use it properly. This is what gets you the peak Harlowe gun damage. 5 point into excited state for some crit damage, and because we are using nuclear winter, this skill allows every shot from Harlowe to be crit, which is a lot of soup. A distribution function is so that we can get our shield back faster and also getting over shield for latent charge. To the rest skill tree, we are putting 5 point into PPE for more shield capacity that is very premium. And finally, we put 4 point into Max Extraordinary so that a nuclear winter bonus element can crit. So we are not only getting more DPS, the distribution function shield steal is also improved. To the specialization, I'm using reduce this for 50% gun damage. This is just a lot of soup. Very nice to get if you don't have a lot of gun damage elsewhere. Bullet chain is for some gun quality of life, and the extra gun damage can be nice, especially when you dash. I am a gun. This skill provides us with a lot of skill damage. Yes, skill damage, not actually skill damage. The card is lying to you. And finally, we are using the best defense for some more soup. This point is the most uncertain specialization for me. I haven't tested properly if one shot one kill how it apply to the special art fire, but like once I figure it out, this might be better than the best defense. And for the point, you want to invest as much point to survival as possible because this would give us maximum shield and maximum health, not only more survivability but also more damage. That is a great thing about Gamma Ray Burst. We get more damage, the more shield we build up. For the playstyle of this build, for bossing, you would want to get your aim, activate your action skill, re-trigger your action skill to get Gamma Ray Burst, switch to the Art Fire. If you are using one, shoot it at the enemy, and if your accuracy is great, it should be dealing damage, and distribution function will give back your shield pretty fast, and you can repeat this cycle if the damage isn't enough, but in most cases it is a one shot. For mobbing, drone could be your best option. Try to get as much kill drone artfire and equip them in all 4 slots, so that whenever you get your shield back up and can get gamma ray burst, you can get another drone out without having to wait for the artfire to recharge back up. So that is it. Hope you find this video useful. If you did, remember to like, share, subscribe. Make sure to check out the mobility right up for the sci-fi. Join the Discord server, and see you guys next time.